Welcome into the In the Money podcast for Friday, April 19th. Tom Leach, along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Wagering Development. Going to take a look at the Grade 3 Double Dog Dare Stakes and the late pick 4. Double Dog Dares for fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th. And a good, well-balanced field here. Jim, where did you land?
This always is a good race. It's stationed toward the latter part of our racing meet. We're looking at the last weekend. This is got one more Friday into this one, so it's a nice race, and I really like a filly named Jenda's Agenda for Florent Giroux and Larry Jones. This filly is about a length and a quarter away from being undefeated in 5 races. Went to Fairgrounds this winter and ran behind Sister Can, and came back and won Keeneland's opening weekend. And I think that filly's won 6 or 7 in a row. So Jenda's Agenda then came back and won easily at Oaklawn and ships here. First time in a stakes race, graded stakes. There was a listed stakes at Laurel that she won last year in March. But she came back off a long layoff and has run really well. And I think Jenda's Agenda is a solid play in here. Also like the 2-horse Minds and Magic, a lot of speed for Vicky Oliver, drawn well on the inside with Alvarado. I like Well Humored, a lightly raced filly for Delacour. Hung on the outside a little bit, but really has made some progression. Won the Wayward Lass at Tampa last out of the mile and 16th, and gets Ortiz. Even though Daniel Centeno is a great jockey at Tampa, Ortiz is a big move up. And then the other horse I would use in here is Tappa, the 12. That 102 buyer jumps out at me at Tampa. Hasn't done that since then, and ran behind Well Humored, led all the way and got beat by 3/4. So if you like Well Humored, you got to use her. So let me use 4 in here in the pick 4, but my pick is Jenda's Agenda for Larry Jones.
I am going to the same filly. I like the race record, and I think her speed is a big plus here. If Well Humored was drawn better, I might talk myself into her, but from the 11 hole, I couldn't get past Jenda's Agenda with the post position advantage. But Well Humored with that 93 buyer and the 4-year-old debut is strong, and she's won at Keeneland too, which is a nice plus. I'm like you on Minds and Magic. I think she's got a big shot. Valdorna I'm going to use also, even though the Cassie Barn's been cold, but I think this is a talented filly. And then Tappa is the other one that I had written down as well. But the 12 post gives me a little pause on her. But Jenda's Agenda is going to be my win pick in the Double Dog Dare as well. But I'm going to spread in this race when we get to the pick 4, which starts in the 7th race. Non-winners have won other than at a mile and a 16th. And I thought there were 2 pretty strong ones in here. I liked Auntie's the 1. Running back over the track is usually a good angle. Good effort here on opening weekend. Second start off the layoff for McPeak, and I like this horse in here. But Operatic with that big 81 buyer, I think could handle the class rise, and still that buyer figure. I think she really fits in here. I'd like to include Clever Serve in the pick 4, but I'm probably going to leave her out to keep the ticket costs down. But I think she's got a big shot as well. So I'm going to use the 3-5 in there. In the 8th race, Patterson Cross probably favored, but I'm just suspicious of that dud debut in 2018. So I'm not as high on that one at a mile and a half on the turf as I would be off those races that he ran last year. So I'm going to Chad Brown, horse called Deeply Undervalued, which will not be undervalued with Chad Brown training. Second off the layoff, had trouble in the last, so I'm going to take that one. Patrick's Day had a big shot off some good fields that he faced at the Fairgrounds. Harlan Strong, I'll use Patterson Cross, and Archdaddy also. I'm going to use all of those in the pick 4. I'm going to use Jenda's Agenda, Well Humored, Valdorna, Minds and Magic in the feature. And then in the last leg, 3-year-old fillies going a mile and 16th on the turf. I went for Maybe Wicked, the 8, favored in her debut. Ran second, bit of a wide trip, Cox trains. City Day, the 7, I like a lot too, off the layoff, but second to Rushing Fall last year. And then Stave for Larry Jones, who's Barnes done well. I'm going to throw that one in too. So 8, 7, and 9 in the last leg for me. So 3-5 with 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 with 2, 7, 9, 11 with 7, 8, 9. How about you?
A little bit different construction. I used 4 horses in the first leg. I really didn't have a strong opinion here. I felt like I had to use Clever Serve in here. You said that was the horse that you left out. Auntie's the One is a good angle coming back in 2 weeks and running a second race on the racetrack, which doesn't happen a lot at Keeneland. Also used Operatic with that big buyer last out, and I used Secret Trick. One of the things that I look at in a allowance race that has two different conditions, and one of them is I've never won a race other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or which have never won 2 races. Well, some of these horses got in by only having won 1 race. Secret Trick, even though she's run at a lower level, has won 7 races lifetime, and only one of the horses won more than 1 in here. So I got to use her. And I also used Clever Serve, Auntie's the One, Secret Trick, and Operatic are my 4 here. So I'm using 4 out of 7. I am going to single Patterson's Cross based on that class in the 8th race. I think needed the last out of off a long layoff for Bill Mott, and second back from a layoff off Bill Mott ought to be good. Runs anywhere close to last year in those grade 2s and grade 3s. He cowers over this field, but didn't come back very well. But I'm going to give him a pass on that one. I think he's going to show up on Friday. So I'm going to single a 4 in the second leg. Then I'm going to use the 2, 7, 11, 12, the ones we talked about, Minds and Magic, Agenda's Agenda, Well Humored, and Tappa, Tappa, Tappa. So that leaves me, I've tried to keep it under $50, so I'm using 6 horses in the last leg, using 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. And basically I looked at jockeys and trainers, and, maiden special weight's tough, and I didn't use any first-timers in here. I used Luna Rosa the 1, Lunar Garden the 6, City Day the 7, maybe Wicked the 8 is my top pick for Brad Cox. I also use Stave that you talked about with Larry Jones, and Cloak of Secrecy on the outside for Brendan Walsh. So I kind of spread here. So my ticket is 1, 3, 5, 6 with 4, with 2, 7, 11, 12, with 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 for $48.
And there's a guaranteed pick 4 sponsored by TVG on the last 4, right?
There is. And then we have on Saturdays, it's kind of snuck in there, but we're going to do a $300,000 pick 4 on Saturday. So we do a $200,000 pick 4 on this Friday, and then a $300,000 on Saturday for the last weekend of the guarantees.
Best of luck with your wagers on the Friday card. We'll be back for another edition of the In the Money podcast for Saturday. This is In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.